Good morning, everybody. Chemistry for the first year diploma students, second semester. Environmental studies 2. In the previous sessions, we have to learn about the air pollution, air pollutants, and causes of the air pollution. Among that causes, the important causes are transportation system, industries, and deforestation, and agricultural activities, and some more wars, accidental in the industries, and natural activities. So many are there, but these four are very important. And how is the effects of the air pollution on human beings? This I have to learn in the previous session. For that continuation of that effects of air pollution, in this session also we have to study about the effects of air pollution on animals and plants. How it is affects on animals and plants. The pollutants and contaminants accumulate in the vegetation. The animals get poisoned when they consume the contaminated vegetation, grassing the animals. When we have spraying the on crop, automatically it will be contaminated the grass and contaminated the plants. That plants are these are eating, grassing the animals. That pollutants and contaminants accumulated in the vegetation, then animals get the poisoned when they are consume the contaminated vegetation. Fluorine causes the lameness, loss in weight, and diarrhea. Lead causes the loss of appetite. 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 Arsenic dust or spray causes the loss of appetite and death. And effects of the air pollution on animals and plants. Sulfur dioxide causes the bleaching of leaves. Acid rain destroys the crop and forests. It several retards the growth of crops. Acid rain. How it is happening the acid rain? When nitrogen oxides, sulfur oxides mixed with the rainwater, and automatically it will be falling on animals, on plants as a acid rain in the form of HCl, H2SO4 as like that, and HNO3 as like that. Acids are mm, falling on the animals and plants. Then acid rain destroy the crops and forests. It several retards the growth of the crops and skin diseases on the animals when it is falling on the animals. Nitrogen dioxide causes the leaf bleaching and reduced fruit production. Nitrogen dioxide causes the leaf bleaching and reduce the fruit production. And these are the very important causes of effects of air pollution on animals and planets. Once again, remember that air pollutants and contaminants accumulate in the vegetation. The animals get the poisoned when they consume the contaminated vegetation. Is it right? Automatically, that poisonous chemicals we are spraying on the crop, grass, as like that, they totally contaminated with the poisonous or pollutants, poisonous gases and poisonous chemicals and pollutants. When that animals are getting the poisoned or contaminated and consumes the contaminated vegetation. Suppose fluorine mixed, then automatically fluorine causes the lameness, loss in weight and diarrhea. Suppose lead is mixed with the air, then automatically on animal affects the lead, causes the loss of appetite. Same as usually that arsenic is a very poisonous chemical, and whenever that spread causes the loss of appetite and death also by the arsenic whenever it will be affects the animals. That sulfur dioxide causes the bleaching of leaves. On plants, sulfur dioxide causes the bleaching of leaves. Acid rain destroys the crops and forests. It several retards the growth of crops. You know the acid rain. How it is forming? That acid rain is due to the causes of the nitrogen oxides and sulfur oxides. When sulfur oxides and nitrogen oxides are released by the industries, then that oxides are released into the air automatically whenever that mixed with the rainwater, then automatically they are falling as a acid rain in the form of HCl, H2SO4 and nitrogen HNO3 nitric acids. Then that acids are falling on the animals. Then animals are suffering with the skin diseases or skin cancers, goes to the death, and it will be whenever that falling on the crops, crop will be yielding is the decreases and growth of the decreases and destroy the crop and forests. Nitrogen dioxide causes the leaf bleaching and reduces the fruit production. If the nitrogen dioxide is mixed with the air, that nitrogen dioxide is affects the plants. By the nitrogen dioxide, leaf bleaching is happening and reduces the fruit production. Fruit production. Next is general effects of air pollution. There are three effects of air pollution: greenhouse effect, ozone layer depletion, acid rain. So there are three effects of air pollution: greenhouse effect, ozone layer depletion, acid rain. Look here, what about the greenhouse effect? Greenhouse effect also called as global warming. What do you mean global warming? How it is happening? Why we should be want the studied about the global warming? What is the definition of global warming? What are the causes for the global warming? What is the effects of the global warming? How can we have to control the global warming? This is about the global warming. Objectives of the global warming. The increasing of the carbon dioxide, heating of the global warming or greenhouse effect. The increasing of the heat of the atmosphere is called as global warming or greenhouse effect. Increasing of The pollutants responsible for the global warming are carbon dioxide, methane gases, chlorofluorocarbons, ozone, and nitrogen oxides, water vapors. But here among them, the carbon dioxide is the major causes for the global warming. Increasing of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is called as global warming or greenhouse effect. Definition: the causes of global warming are carbon dioxide, methane gas, chlorofluorocarbons, and ozone and nitrogen oxides, water vapors. Among these pollutants, carbon dioxide has the much effect. The gases absorb the more light from the sunlight. Hence, the temperature increases. If the global temperature increases by the 1 degree Celsius, the following effects are predicted. Greenhouse effect. The ice caps of the polar regions melt, thereby increasing the seawater level. Hence, the low-lying areas are submerged in the seawater. Bangladesh, Netherlands, Chennai, Goa, etc. are the first of all the low-lying areas are submerged in the seawater due to the global warming. The rate of evaporation of water from the hydrosphere increases, which leads to cyclones, unseasonal rains, or etc. So, whenever the heated the globe, automatically the evaporation of water also increases by the hydrosphere. Hydrosphere increases, which leads to be cyclones will be coming, unseasonal rains are also coming. This is the very important, and the agricultural production decreases due to the fast evaporation of surface water. Agricultural production also decreases by the fast evaporation of surface water. The global warming can be prevented or reduced by the plantation. So once again, general effects of the air pollution, among them the greenhouse effect, ozone layer depletion, acid rain, very important. So greenhouse effect is also called as global warming. The increasing of carbon dioxide or temperature of atmosphere is called as global warming or greenhouse effect. The pollutants responsible for the global warming are carbon dioxide, methane gas, chlorofluorocarbons, and nitrogen oxides, water vapors. And among them, the pollutants carbon dioxide is much effective. Due to the carbon dioxide, the global heated and then the gases absorb the more light from the sunlight. Hence the temperature increases. Temperature increases. If the global temperature increases by the 1 degree Celsius, the following effects are predicted. Whatever there, whenever the increases the global temperature, the ice caps of the polar regions melt, thereby increasing of seawater level. Hence, low-lying areas are submerged in the seawater. Like that, low-lying areas are, for example, Bangladesh, Netherlands, Chennai, Goa, etc. So, the rate of the evaporation of water from the hydrosphere increases, while leads to cyclones and unseasonal rains, etc. By unseasonal and the fast evaporation of the water, here also the agriculture production decreases due to the fast evaporation of the surface water. The global warming can be prevented by the reduced prevented reduced by the plantation. So in this session we have to learn about the effects of the air pollution on animals and plants. How are the effects of the air pollution on animals? How can the animals are suffering by the air pollution? How can we are lost the plantation? How can we are poisonous the vegetation and chlorine gas, lead, arsenic, like that poisonous chemicals are mixed with the air and affects the animals. And sulfur dioxides and acid rains, nitrogen dioxides are whenever mixed with the air and it's affected the plants growth and crop growth and the decreases the yielding and reduces the fruit production and we learned about the general effects of the air pollution. Among the greenhouse effect we learned in this session and greenhouse effect definition of the greenhouse effect, cause of greenhouse effect and effects of the greenhouse effect. How can we control the greenhouse effect? By the plantation we have to control the greenhouse effect. By afforestation we have to control the greenhouse effect. By the greenhouse effect, so many problems are there, so many decreases the development, and so many low-lying areas are submerged by the ocean sea level. So, next, in next session, we have to learn about the ozone layer depletion. Acid rain has a general effects of the air pollution. Ozone layer is a very important layer to protect the earth covered surroundings of the earth has a green layer. Ozone layer is depleted, then how can we are suffered? And acid rain, by the acid rain how can we are suffered? And what are the causes of the acid rain? What are the effects of the acid rain? What is the ozone layer depletion? What is the cause of the ozone layer depletion? What is the effects of the ozone layer depletion? How can we are preventing? How can we are control the ozone layer depletion? Mm, these are the very important and these are we are discussing in the next session. So the session was completed and by this session what you have to learn and remember once again, and that question is very important. Write the effects of air pollution on animals and human beings. At least you have to remember 5 points from that. And next question is, define the greenhouse effect and explain the greenhouse effect. This is a very important question. In that you should be remember that greenhouse effect means nothing but you should write the increasing of carbon dioxide. By increases the carbon dioxide, increase the temperature of the globe, temperature of the environment, temperature of the atmosphere is called as greenhouse effect. This is a very important. You should be highlighted the carbon dioxide, the percentage of the carbon dioxide. By increasing of the percentage of carbon dioxide, what effects should be desired here? By increasing the temperature, what effect? Global temperature then increases by the 1 degree Celsius. Then what happened? What effects are they predicted? That should be highlighted and you should give the answer. That is effectively, and whichever it may be, all of best of luck to remember that. And we will be meet in next session. Thank you, and thank you everyone, one and all.